Hi there, this is Sharon with simplycanning.com, and I'm making cookies today, and I thought I would take this opportunity to show you my Bosch Universal Plus mixer. I had a KitchenAid that I used for years and years, and it worked great. Recently, well, not recently, maybe 6 months ago or so, the first gear on it went out, and so that slow speed that I used to always use to knead my bread and do anything that needed a slow speed like that, it died. I couldn't use it anymore. I can still use it for making cakes and things like that, but I needed something, I wanted something. Need and want is, you know, those are words. I could knead it by hand, but I wanted some kind of a machine to knead my bread. I like to make a couple loaves at a time. I don't like doing just one loaf at a time. What I've done in the past sometimes is I've even picked up old automatic bread machines, and I'll have two of them, and I'll do a loaf in each one, and that way I can bake two loaves at the same time, because I just use the machine to knead my bread, to knead my dough, and then I bake it in the oven. And this thing will knead 6 loaves at a time. I had to have it. I was like, okay, this is for me. So I splurged, because they are pricey, but I am telling you what, I wish I would have splurged a long time ago, because it has been worth it. I'm making cookies today, I'm not making bread, but you'll notice I pulled this out instead of my KitchenAid, and so I may just empty a little spot out of my cupboard and have more room and get rid of my KitchenAid. I don't know. It's not really worth anything since it doesn't work quite right. But that is all to say that I love my Bosch. This thing will knead, like I said, 6 loaves at a time. It has this section back here on the back where it has attachments that come with it. I went ahead and got a blender that went with it, and that goes right here, and that's how this runs. And this blender is a really, really strong blender. I haven't had any problems blending up anything so far. I've been canning tomatoes, and so I blended up tomatoes to make tomato sauce. I've made smoothies in this thing. It's really been pretty handy. I think I made pancake batter in it once. I can't remember what all I've used it for. I've used the blender quite a bit. I have, like I said, I'm making cookies today. And so what I have inside here, well, here, let me show you the lid first. This is really cool. This lid here fits over this lid here. This is what you use when you're just blending and you want your bowl open. It just kind of covers the edges and keeps everything in. But like, you know how when you're adding flour or cocoa or things like that, and you turn the blades on and it poofs up? Well, if you stick this thing on there, it holds it all in there. It's really cool. You don't get dust floating around. Of course, you know, you're gonna get some, but not nearly as much. But then this comes off. That fits on there. Then these are the cookie paddles. These were an addition. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I believe these were in addition. There's different packages that come with different parts. And so this is what came with the package that I chose, and I don't remember the name of it. I'll put a link to it in the article below. But these are the cookie paddles, and it has a metal, they call this the metal driver, and I'm sure it's probably sturdier. That's why they have that, and I wouldn't do without these. I have cookie dough in here. I wouldn't be without these for sure. And then this comes with it also. This is the dough hook, and it's got 2 bars around here and a blade here. And then there's also a new part that you can get, and it's called the dough hook extender. Where did I put it? I don't have it out here. Let me look. Yes, here it is. I found it. It was right there. This is the dough hook extender, and it comes on here. If you're doing a small batch of bread, you don't have to do 6 at a time. In other words, this dough hook extender makes it a little bit longer here, and then you can do a smaller batch of bread. You can just do 1 or 2 loaves, and that's not a problem. So if you cringe at the thought of doing 6 loaves at a time, don't worry, you can use this piece. I haven't done 6 loaves at a time. I do 4 usually is what I've been doing, and it works great. So that's the dough hook. And then these are the beaters, and I actually haven't used these yet, but they're just your beaters for like beating eggs or anything that you need to whip up really light and fluffy, the beaters. There is also, besides the blender that works on here, there's also a food processor, and there's a slicer, I think it's called a slicer, maybe a slicer grater, and that's next on my list of things to get. I haven't gotten one yet, but I plan on it. This bowl comes off very easily, and if I don't know if you can see that, I'll try to get some close-ups. It's full of cookie dough right now, but it has a section that comes up here, and that's where all of these different blades fit right on. And I go ahead and store my cookie paddles and my bread dough hook. Those are the two things that I use the most, and I go ahead and just store them right in here when I've got it back on my shelf, or not shelf, on my counter. It sits right on my counter is where I keep it. And you just twist that to lock it on there. Works really good. There's a little booklet that comes with it, as with almost any appliance that you get. It's got the, you know, the cleaning instructions and the safety features and all that type of stuff. It also has some recipes in here. This is an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie recipe. Now, I love oatmeal cookies, and my husband is not a fan of oatmeal cookies, but I tried this recipe and he said, that's the first oatmeal cookie that I've ever really liked. So try this oatmeal cookie and you might like it. Honestly, it's a little bit too sweet for me, but I make it for him, so he likes it. I don't know what else to tell you about it. I'm gonna go ahead and, here, let me turn it on so you can hear the sound, because it's not very loud. I have dough in here already. There's different speeds. There's fast and slow. The switch, I guess you would call it the switch, is up here, and that's what it sounds like. That's on the lowest speed, and there's up to 4, and you can use 4 like when you're whipping things and you want to use these beaters. But I really like it. I highly recommend it. Like I said, it is pricey, but you know what? If you have a lot of years of making bread and cookies and all that kind of stuff ahead of you, you might want to consider spending the money on it, because of course I just got this. I'm guessing, I think it's been about a month and a half ago. But I know that I've heard people who have had their Bosch mixer for 35 years. I got this from theurbanhomemaker.com, and I talked to Karen there, and I believe she said she had her Bosch mixer for 30 years. I'm not sure about that. I didn't write it down, so I don't remember, but I know she's had it for a long time. In fact, she actually has 2 because she uses it so much. She does a lot of baking. I think they sell baked goods at a local farmer's market, and so she does a lot of baking, and this is what she used because she really likes it. urbanhomemaker.com, again, that's where I got it. I can't think of anything else to tell you right now. I'm going to go ahead and finish my cookies, and then I will clean this, and I'll try to get a close-up of some of the different parts that you can't really tell just from where I'm talking. Thanks. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this all cleaned, and this is my cookie paddles. These are all actually dishwasher safe. The whole thing could go in the dishwasher if you wanted it to. This whole bowl could. I don't tend to put big things in my dishwasher. I feel like it just takes a lot of space, and I'm better off just washing this by hand and using the dishwasher for all the little things for convenience. The only thing you would not want to put in the dishwasher is these part of the cookie paddles, because this has the silver finish on it, and if you put that in the dishwasher, that silver finish is going to come off, and then it won't be nearly as pretty and nice. And there's a little sticker on here that reminds you of that. It says hand wash only to maintain finish. I also wanted to point out on the bowl, there's a center post, I guess you could call it. I don't know what you would call that. But if you go turn it over, excuse me, if you turn it over and you just twist this bottom piece, that little post comes out, and then you can rinse out in there, and you can make sure you got all the food out of there. When I first started using this, I had made bread, and the bread kind of comes up high around the centerpiece here, and I had gotten stuff down in here, and I didn't realize it came apart to wash it. So I just washed it the best I could and put it away, and then after a few weeks, the one day I opened it, took the lid off to use it, and I could smell it, and I thought, oh no, I ruined it. What am I going to do? I can't use this if it stinks, but I got the little book out, read the directions. Yes, that does help sometimes. And that's where I found out that this little piece comes out for cleaning, and then it works just fine. You have to just line it up in there, and then it snaps on. So the base part of it, which you saw earlier, that you just want to wipe off with a damp rag. You don't have to use any cleaners on it or anything like that. It's usually it's just flour and things like that are on it anyway. So the Bosch Universal Plus mixer. I got the set with the cookie paddles and the blender. I plan on getting the food chopper and the grater. I think that's what it's called. It's a shredder grater, slicer grater maybe. It's the part that goes on where the blender goes. So I love it. You might want to think about it. Bosch Universal Plus mixer. I like mine and I think you should take a look at them. This is Sharon with SimplyCanning.com. Have a great day.